Gather round the campfire, folks. The flames are dancing like fireflies in the night, and the stars are winking down at us from that big old Minnesota sky. I'm Uncle Ben, your storyteller, with a beard as wild as the woods and a voice that booms like thunder over the lakes. Pull up a log, grab a marshmallow on a stick, and let me spin you a yarn about one of the grandest adventures I've ever had. This one's called Into the Silent Wilderness, the Mystery of the Boundary Waters. It's a tale of paddling through crystal clear waters, facing down Mother Nature's moods, and uncovering a secret that's been hiding in those ancient forests for generations. And the best part? I shared it with my two closest pals, Mia, the sharp-eyed biologist who's always scribbling in her field journal like she's unlocking the secrets of the universe, and Alex, the tech wizard who packs more gadgets than a spy movie. Drones, cameras, you name it. All right, settle in. Here we go. It all started last summer when the three of us were itching for a real escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. I'd been reading up on the Boundary Waters Canoe area wilderness. Folks call it the BWCAW for short. It's this massive chunk of pristine wilderness up in northern Minnesota, right on the border with Canada. Over 1 million acres of interconnected lakes, rivers, and forests where motors are banned in most spots to keep things as wild as they were when the voyageurs paddled through back in the fur trading days. That's French-Canadian explorers, who hauled their canoes and pelts across these same waters in the 1700s and 1800s. The area is part of the Superior National Forest, and it's got a rich history tied to the Ojibwe people, who've called this land home for centuries. They know it as a place of spirits and stories, where the water sings and the woods whisper.
We decided to tackle a classic route, starting from Ely, Minnesota, and canoeing into the heart of the BWCAW toward Basswood Lake, then veering off to explore some lesser-known chains of lakes. But what got us really fired up was the mystery angle. I'd heard tales from old-timers about the Lost Echo, a legend of an ancient Ojibwe artifact, a carved stone tablet said to hold maps to hidden waterfalls and sacred sites. Supposedly, it vanished during a storm in the early 1900s, and folks have been searching ever since. Mia was all in for the ecology side. She wanted to study the boreal forest's wildlife and how climate change is warming the lakes, affecting fish like walleye and northern pike. Alex, he was geeking out over mapping the terrain with his drone and capturing footage for a documentary. Me, I just wanted the thrill of the paddle, the call of the loons, and good company. We loaded up our canoes at the entry point, 2 sturdy 17-footers, packed with tents, food, and gear. The air was crisp, smelling of pine and fresh water as we pushed off into Moose Lake. The water was like glass, reflecting the tall white pines and spruces that lined the shores. "All right, team," I boomed, my paddle slicing through the surface. "Into the silent wilderness we go." Mia laughed from the bow of our canoe, her journal already open. "Silent? With your voice, Ben, it'll be anything but." Alex, in the other canoe with his tech bag, grinned and launched his little drone for an aerial shot. This place is a tech paradise. No cell service means pure focus. The first day was pure joy. We paddled about 10 miles, portaging, that's hauling the canoes over land, twice between lakes. Portages here can be brutal, rocky paths through dense woods, but we took turns, laughing as we stumbled over roots. Mia pointed out the ecology along the way. See these black spruces? They're adapted to the cold, wet soils of the boreal forest, which covers much of the BWCAW. But with climate change, warmer temperatures are letting invasive species creep in, threatening the native plants. Educational as always, that, Mia. We spotted our first wildlife, a bald eagle soaring overhead, its wingspan wide as a canoe.
Alex captured it on camera, whooping with excitement. That's gold! As the sun dipped low, we camped on a rocky island, building a fire and sharing stories. The loons called across the water, their eerie wails echoing like ghosts. That night, under a blanket of stars, I felt that deep pride in our little crew, friends who'd drop everything for an adventure like this.
But the real thrill started on day 2. We headed deeper toward the quieter lakes near the Canadian border. The mystery of the lost echo was on our minds. I'd brought an old map from a local outfitter, marked with rumored spots. As we paddled into a narrow channel, the wind picked up, whipping the water into choppy waves. "Hold steady," I shouted, my arms burning from the effort. Mia analyzed the waves. "This is typical for these glacial-carved lakes, shallow in spots so winds can stir 'em up quick." Suddenly, a massive shape emerged from the reeds, a bull moose, antlers like branched crowns, wading chest-deep. We froze, hearts pounding with a mix of fear and awe. Moose can be unpredictable, especially in mating season, but this one just eyed us, snorted, and lumbered away. "Whoa," Alex whispered, his camera rolling. "That's a 1,000-pound beast. Did you know they can dive up to 20 feet for aquatic plants?" Mia jotted it down furiously. The encounter bonded us closer. We high-fived, laughing off the adrenaline. That afternoon, navigation got tricky. Fog rolled in thick as soup, blanketing the lakes and making landmarks vanish. We were aiming for a portage to Pipstone Bay, but the mist disoriented us. "My compass is spinning. Must be magnetic interference from the iron-rich rocks here," I grumbled. "The BWCAW sits on ancient Precambrian bedrock full of minerals that can mess with gear." Alex deployed his drone, but the fog limited his range. Switching to thermal cam. Wait, I see a heat signature. Could be a beaver lodge marking the shore. Mia consulted a journal. "Beavers are ecosystem engineers here. Their dams create wetlands that support biodiversity, but rising waters from climate change are flooding them out." We followed Alex's lead, paddling blind, tension building. Fear gripped me. Getting lost in the BWCAW means real danger, with no quick rescue. But teamwork shone through. Mia called out bird songs for direction. Common loons prefer open water. Alex guided with tech, and I steered with muscle. We made the portage just as the fog lifted, collapsing in relief and humor. "Next time, Ben, bring a foghorn," Alex teased. We hugged it out, pride swelling in our chests. Night 3 brought the storm. We'd set camp on a pine-shaded point overlooking Basswood Lake, famous for its waterfalls and fishing. As darkness fell, thunder rumbled like a giant's growl. "Batten down," I yelled, securing the tents. Rain hammered down, wind howling through the trees, lightning cracked, illuminating the waves crashing against rocks. Fear hit hard. Mia clutched her journal, whispering facts to calm us. Storms like this are increasing due to climate change. Warmer air holds more moisture. Alex's drone was grounded, but he used his waterproof camera to film the chaos. Huddled in the tent, we shared fears. I admitted worrying about flash floods, Mia about losing her notes, Alex about his gear frying. But humor lightened it. Mia mimicked my booming voice. "Into the storm we go." We laughed till our sides hurt, bonding over hot cocoa from a thermos. The storm passed by morning, leaving the air fresh and the lake sparkling. No damage, just a story to tell. The mystery unfolded on day 4. Exploring a hidden cove marked on my map, we found a narrow inlet leading to a small waterfall. "This matches the legend," I said excitedly. Paddling close, Alex spotted something with his drone, a glint in the rocks. We hiked in, Mia leading with her biologist's eye. "Watch for black bears. They're common here, foraging for berries. They avoid humans mostly, but secure food high." Sure enough, we saw fresh tracks, but no bear. At the waterfall's base, half buried in moss, was a stone tablet carved with Ojibwe symbols. "This could be it, the lost echo," Mia exclaimed, sketching it. It depicted a map to a sacred spring, perhaps used by indigenous peoples for ceremonies. We didn't take it. Respect for the land is key in the BWCAW, where leave no trace is the rule. Instead, Alex photographed it, and Mia noted its ecological context. Sites like this remind us of indigenous knowledge, like how the Ojibwe managed forests sustainably long before modern conservation. The discovery filled us with joy, high fives, whoops, and a group photo. But a close call came when, slipping on wet rocks, I caught Mia's arm. She grabbed Alex, teamwork saving the day again. Deeper in, we faced another thrill, a wolf howling at dusk. The BWCAW is home to gray wolves, protected since the 1970s. Their packs roam the forests, hunting deer and moose. We heard the chorus, chills running down our spines, fear mixed with wonder. They're communicating, territorial calls, Mia explained. Alex recorded the audio, pure wilderness symphony. No encounter, just the magic of knowing they were out there. As we paddled out on the final days, covering more lakes like Knife and Saginaga, we reflected. The BWCAW taught us about resilience. Its ecosystems bounce back from fires. Natural ones renew the forest, but human impacts like acid rain from old mining and climate shifts pose threats. We bonded over fireside chats, Mia sharing her passion for saving habitats, Alex his tech dreams, me my love for the wild. One night, staring at the northern lights dancing green and purple, we shared a group hug. "Friends like you make the adventure," I said, voice booming soft. Back at the entry point, gear unloaded, we looked back at the silent wilderness. Lessons learned: respect nature, lean on friends, and chase mysteries with an open heart. The lost echo? We left it for others to find, but it found us in spirit. Yours in endless exploration, Uncle Ben.